here, see if we can hear the audio. See if that's coming through. Should be streaming in a minute. Okay. So my last stream, I hope this is coming through okay. Let me look at OBS. I'm using the microphone that is on the camera. That looks like it's coming through okay. Because last time I used my wireless headsets and the audio was choppy and doing all sorts of robotic stuff, and that's not good. And I haven't got all the adapters that I need for my RF wireless mic set up, so we'll do this right now. So where I left off last time, got all the chassis assembled. We did the y-axis, and oh my gosh, I didn't even open my Haribos. So maybe I should do that right now. And we'll have a Haribo in celebration of the y-axis getting done. Open the bag. Yay! Ooh. Smells so good. Part of the reason I didn't have Haribos last time was they were still frozen because I left my Prusa box sitting out in the garage. So, we're on to the y-axis assembly. Or, I mean, sorry, y-axis. X-axis assembly. So I need some bearings and some other goodies, which, you know what, it's really easy to find stuff when they're all in a bag. Now I need some printed parts. Which are also in a bag. So nice. And yeah, I think I got everything. The finish on that powder coated PEI is pretty interesting. Nice. I like it. Okay. Baggies and baggies and baggies full of stuff. So we need 4 of the little bearings. 3 will go over there with that part. This is the idler and the drive sprocket. Put that aside. I'm going to need a rod because we're going to pack the bearings just like we did the other ones. And I'm going to go ahead and pack all the bearings right now, since we got everything here, and I'm going to get my fingers all messy. I may as well. I know I had a knife here last time. Oops. Dropped my bearing. down through. Did not lose any balls though, so we're good. Okay, we'll open up the rest of these bearings and get ready to go here. And all the bearings are the same, so it doesn't matter which ones go where. Scissors. Well, scissors are a little dull because I've used them to cut paper and plastic and I don't know what else. Okay. Something else that I didn't mention, besides packing your bearings, which is important, one of the other things that you should always do with your rods is roll them across a really flat surface and see if they roll smoothly or if they have a lump to them, like they're bent. Like that one. Make sure that it's not due to anything on the surface. And you can test it by rolling it slowly and tap one end. It must have been something stuck to it. You can also look down them and see if they look bent, crooked, and that seems fine. So we'll put them back in here. Just leave the one that we need out for packing. I got my same bloody towel for sopping up cuts, and my Silk Glide is hiding under my book. So we'll put a little dab into each bearing. And one of the reasons why I like Silk Glide is it's safe for plastics. It will not attack a plastic. Even in its degraded form, when it starts to decompose, if it's been left in, it's just a really good grease. It's kind of expensive, but it's a really good grease. I don't remember how I got turned on to it, but probably because I had a Pontiac Fiero and it was one of the things that was recommended for use on their plastic body panels to prevent squeaking when you were reassembling it. And it won't eat the plastic. It won't affect the seals. And that's what you want. So while I will clean all these up, but my greasy fingerprints, whatever little grease is left on there, won't eat through the plastic or soften it or make it deteriorate in any way. Okay. So I'm going to put the rod in from the end that I installed it, hold my finger over it tight, and work it back and forth a little bit. And all that grease is down in there. And you don't go fast as you're trying to form a seal, and just work it into those those balls. All right. Okay. Almost done. Make sure I'm. Oh yeah, you guys can see that okay. So, you know, I just put your finger over it. That whole glob of grease is up in there, in between the rod and the balls. Now that you probably can't see, but you can still see the balls down in there. It's not like it cakes them. It just packs in between all of them and gives them a nice cushion. I went a little too fast there. Oh well. It's okay. Alright, so now we'll wipe that all off. Wipe that off. Put the rod away. And clean all those little guys up. Those three will be for there. Alright, so we got our bearings. Our next step is basically just shove the bearings in all from one end. I don't think it matters which end, but we'll put them in just like they show in the picture. So they want them going in that end, and on this one, in this end. So that's what we'll do. Okay. So basically, take one. Now, one other thing that they want you to do is make sure that the bearings are offset by 45 degrees to each other. So when I push this one in, I've got the bearing ball races at 45 degrees. I'm looking for, there they are. I'm looking for a little bamboo skewer. Okay. And I'm just going to push that all the way down. And then this bearing, the one that's going on top, I've got the ball races at right angles, so they're square to this faceplate kind of thing, and that one just goes in that far. Alright, first pair of bearings should be in line with the top surface on both X ends. Second pair of bearings should seated on the rim close to the lower surface on both X ends. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. I'll put this one in on the 45s. Not that it matters, but we're just going to do things in a consistent way. Don't tear out the seal, and don't poke yourself in the eye with the bamboo skewer. Okay, and then this one is square. Okay. So far so good. Insert the M3 nylock nut on the X end idler. That's this guy. There's not a nut hiding in there somewhere. So this little nylock nut goes in this little hole. And what I've found is if you get them cocked like that, the best way to get them down in the hole is use something. Usually you can use a screw or the tweezers. Oops, did I get the right guys? Yeah, I think that's the right guy. It's hard to go through the nylock part of the thing first, but you can kind of get it in there. Kind of, maybe. it's square in there. It's not sucked all the way in, but that's okay. It's in there. Alright, next. Insert the idler bearing into the slot. And then I've got to use a 3x18 screw, which is one of these guys. Oops. Line up the hole. Put them in there. Okay, I'm going to pull it tight until that nut kind of goes down in there. I don't want to pull it super tight, but I want to suck it down in, and then we'll back it off. Oh, I cracked it. Well, it'll be fine. Pulled it way too tight. What did I do? Oh well. Okay. Oh, dang it. He'll be alright. For the x-axis, I need the longest rod, so pull them out. Get the longest rods. Okay, and then we're going to put 2 on one and 1 on the other. Alright, did that. Now they want us to put the rods into these pieces, and the one with 2 bearings goes at the top of here, and the one with 1 bearing goes at the bottom of here. And this one goes with the little hoopty at the top. It goes on the end. Alright. Still got a few pieces left. Now. Oh yeah. Insert the rods carefully. Make sure that do not tilt the rods. Correct orientation. And make sure special opening, check your sure that you made sure you pushed the rods all the way in through the little windows, which we did. Please prepare the x-axis motor. And these are labeled. So here's the x-axis motor. And I want to put the GT2 pulley on here with one of the things towards the flat. It's this littler size. Now I'm not sure where we want to put this, but right now we're just going to side pulley on correct orientation, which is not the way the first picture showed it. Huh. Yeah, okay. I see. They're getting tricky. So put it on with the set screws away from the body of the motor. And in the picture they got it down about like so, but I am sure we will be readjusting that in a little while. Alright. 3 M3 by 18 screws. Okay, make sure this is down. Put the motor there. 3 screws. Just going to snug them for right now, and I'm going to look down, and that's got to go in some more. So what I'm looking at is, if you're looking at the hole here and the pulley there, that has to move in just a little bit. Okay, so that's on there tight. Okay. For the following step, get the little motor mounty thing, 3 square nuts. 0x5 square nuts, 2 zip ties. The only bad thing about this is, oh, maybe I can. I don't know if that muted for you or not. I hope it did, because that was nasty. Nope, that's not my mute button. That didn't mute. Sorry. Coughed right in your ear there. Okay. So, insert the nuts into the traps, which are right here. I don't think we'll use the knife for that. Let's use the tweezers for that. Nut in the trap. Nut in a trap. Another nut in the trap right there. And one right there. Okay, put the zip tie through. So the zip tie goes through here, and they've got the head facing that way. So it's going to go down and back up through there. Like so. Okay. Push the bearings to the middle. X-axis motor facing up. They've got it going this way. And the two bearings go in that way. Right there. Right there. Line the bearings and tighten the zip ties. Okay. So we're going to do that. Where do we want the heads? They pulled the heads all the way up to the top, so we will do that as well. And they don't have to be super duper tight. I mean, snug is good, but you don't want to crush the bearings with them like you're going to. But snip that off, snip that off. All right, let's see if it slides. Works best if you okay. Take a final look, compare it to the picture, everything okay. X-axis is done, time for another gummy bear. Woohoo! Z-axis assembly. So, now we'll get the rest of the frame back up here. And this could be a little problematic for you guys to see. I got some extra screws from that step, but I'm assuming it did not say anything about these screws, but I know that they probably go right, well, they either go here or they go in one of these holes, one of these 4 holes. Well, I'll put them right there right now for safekeeping. Okay, and we'll set this guy off to the side. We'll get the frame back up here. Okay. Next is ZX Z-axis bottom left. So 4 is the Z-axis. Don't worry, I'm putting the baggies over there on the side. So we gotta get this guy. This guy, the two top pieces. And there is these two little black guys that go on the lead screw. M3 by 10 screws, 6 of them. Should be right here. Some belt. And I'm assuming we're going to use all of these. Okay. So the M3 screws, the motor goes to the outside, the rods are going to the inside. Nope, I take it back. The rods are going to the outside. Yes, rods are going to the outside, screws go to the inside. So that's not a great print. That one looks much better. But suppose it'll work. Okay. So let's put this, whoops. All right. Get all of these guys started. Okay, now I can tip this up where you guys can kind of see it, see what's going on, at least on this side. So just tightening up those screws. They're good and tight, they're not super tight. Don't use excessive strength during tightening. Okay, 3 more. And oh, you might be able to see this guy over here. You probably could see it if I could get my fat hands out of the way. Yeah, you might not be able to see it. Okay, well, let's scoot those guys out of the way, and we'll move this over here. Then you can see it. Kinda, sorta. I know there's been 1,000 people put their Prusa MK3s together and stream them. This is not a review. The only reason I really made this and doing it is test out my OBS, see what the audio sounds like on this microphone on the camera, and show people how to pack their bearings. Okay, so that's on. Next, take the motors out. Motors with the lead screws, and note that they have a different length for the leads, right? So long one, short one. So the control box, power supply goes on the right hand side over here. Brains are on the left side, so this is be the right motor, and the other one's the left motor. So let's see, we got our two little doohickeys, and these are kind of like guards to keep filament and toaster leavings and whatnot from going down into the motor and gumming up things. And I'm not going to flip the nut over. Just gonna thread on maybe this little part. Yeah. Put the nut back on. Just right up there. And we'll thread this all the way down. Okay. Okay, and just screw that down so that it's there. Motor tight, motor spins. That one's good. We'll do the same thing with this guy. Yeah, kind of see what I'm doing there. If I move that out a little bit. Okay. So these motors, now we get to mount them up. Okay, and they get 4 screws a piece. One. Oops, put the nut back on there. Don't worry, that'll get lubrication later. I'll put this little nut back in the bag, and we'll get hurry 4. Okay, the short wire goes on the left. Ew, don't put that on there. I knew there was a reason not to put that on there. And we want the motor wires facing in. Take this guy off. It doesn't matter which one goes where. Okay. Get these guys started here. And I gotta tell you guys, for things like this, a ball end set is awesome, because you're trying to get up next to the frame, and the little short handled ones just don't cut it very well. You can't assemble things very quickly. Okay, snug, 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 snug. All right. Four more screws. Okay. That's going in there. That's the way I did it on the other one. I'll go look. I don't really say which way the cables should be facing, but I think in is good. Keeps it all nice and tidy. Let's see what the Mark II has. Which way did I face them? Face them back. Maybe that's what I should do here. We'll turn them 90. Does not say which way they're supposed to be facing. But that's the way I did it on the Mark II. We'll do it this way on the Mark III. So, yeah, butterfingers. To hold it. you doing there? Are you crooked? Holes right. Straight down. Undo these and rotate him a little bit. Okay, that all set up, and we're on to the next stage. Snug, 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 snug. Okay. Oh, what's next? Shorter cable, select a picture, 4 of them, tighten even carefully, as you might break the printed parts. Trapezoid nuts, we got 2 of those. The M3 by 10 screws and M3 nuts. Okay. X-axis is upside down. Ay-yi-yi. How the heck? Okay. I may have to break out the little vise. Here. Nut, nut. Nut, nut. And 4 more screws. Bolts, whatever you want to call them. Socket-headed screws is what we call them, but I don't know the difference between a nut and, or a screw and a bolt. Well, I know the technical difference between a screw and a bolt. Okie dokie. So we need a nut in the trap. Oy vey. Pardon me, guys. Yeah, gotta get the rotation right. And get it down in there right. Okay. They want the bushing part up, and I'm going through the clearance holes. Make sure it'll get into this nut. And again, snug is good, and snug is good enough. Alright, other side. Come on. There you go. Trapezoid nut, clearance hole, little bolt. Alright, there's that. Alright. Use any of the 4 holes. Slide the x-axis onto the trapezoid nuts. That faces that way, that goes on that side. Trapezoid nuts, if you can't see what I'm doing here because I'm behind the camera. So, that whole thing goes on there, but before we go any further, we're going to take another tiny glob and we're just going to apply a little bit, and I'm kind of pushing it into the threads here. As what I want it to do is work its way down through there. Alright, so now just a little bit, a little bit, and we'll get this down, kind of even. Okay, be very careful. Make sure the smooth rod, lower edge of the frame are parallel. Gently insert the remaining smooth rods down through the Z, or the x-axis down through these two bearings. It's got to go down and get into this hole on the motor mount. Same thing on this side. Like so. Ooh, sorry. Alright, and then these top pieces, which are this way. And this way. Okay, so we got 4 more little screws. Those on there. And let's see if I can do this. Sorry, there's the screw hole. Okay, I'm just going to get these two started. Make sure they're not cross-threading. Okay. Put that one down on there. You see what I'm doing there? Oh, not really. Kinda. So, there's 2 little holes at the top of the frame here, and this little guy is going in here to hold the rod and the screw. Wow, okay. Get that one started. There we go. Get that one started. There we go. Perfect. Losing my cushion of my stool here. Okay. So make sure that the top edge of the bracket is square and flush with the frame, because when the X carriage comes up to check to see if Z is square, these pieces are what force it to be square, unless he's changed the homing routine, but I think it's still the same way. So if you don't make sure that these are even, you know, if they're crooked or cocked or whatever, you're going to have a hard time getting your machine to square up. And there is a little bit, I mean, it's not much, but there's a little bit of adjustment there. So you want to run your finger over it and make sure that that's flat to the top of the frame. I know I'm probably out of frame up here at the top because I'm so close to the camera, but I can move the camera up, but then all you're going to see is my light bar in your way. There we go. Okay. So far, so good. That not really grindy, but we'll see. Seems okay. Alright. Did that. Assembling the X-axis belt, which is right here. And there was 2 screws. Alright. Flat part of the GT belt into the X carriage as shown. Teeth down, goes around, comes out. Very important that the short end of the belt isn't sticking out of the X carriage. Alright, so we got to turn this guy around. Starting to get to be a pretty beefy package here. Alright, this one, you guys might be able to see it, maybe. Put it down like this. So we want the little teeth down. I want to go around that little post right there and have none of the belt sticking out the end. This is probably one of the trickiest parts here, as you've got this, which is just flopping around. So let's pull that around and get my tweezers. Alright. So pull that tight. Come on. Line up the teeth on the belt so that they bite into each other, and it's going to be somewhere in that vicinity. Like that is good. Alright. Very important, short belt isn't sticking out of the X carriage. Now loop it around the idler. Make sure it doesn't get twisted. Through here with the tweezers. Grab a hold of the belt and mess it up. Let's try that again. Reach through with the tweezers, grab hold of the belt, twist out of it. Okay, got it straight. All right, now we're going to loop back through the idler. May have to reach through again. There. Yeah, well. Okay. Back through there. There are slots below the belt. Those will be used for cables. All right. So they're talking about this little slot right here is for cables. So don't run through there. Okay. Now, come on. Let's tip this up so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Reach through here. Can I see it? Yep. Doot, 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 doot. You guys probably can't see it, but grab it, pull it through, make sure there's no twist. Put it back, then go back over the top, and this time I shouldn't need the tweezers, maybe. Okay. Now, before I tighten that up, I have to undo these two screws, which is why I didn't tighten them tight on the motor in the first place. Okay, well, that's really, really close. Okay, got that a little bit of slack in there. And then this part, has to go around that other side of this carriagey thingy, the X carriage. And slipped down in there. Okay. There can be a slight belt overhang on this side. So, because there's a hole between it and the motor, so I don't need to trim that. Alright. So, blah blah blah, press the belt in all the way, slight belt, use a hand to rotate more. Use a finger on your left hand to push the belt down, some force should be needed. go one more tooth slack on this because that's a little too tight. We'll go one tooth. There we go. Alright, and then try and push the motor back up. Oh, that's still pretty tight. I'm going to go one more. One more tooth. These teeth are really fine, and you got to remember that what you're adjusting is only half of what you're adjusting. Okay, hey, that's much better. That's the way it should be. Okay, so we're turning that around, and we're going to rotate the motor up until I can get the bolts back in. Yeah. Come on, get in there. Snug. 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 Good and snug. Alright. So, if I push this all the way this way and look through at the belt, I'd say it looks good. And let's push it all the way the other way to the idler. Looks good. Ah, beautiful. Alright. Let me trim it. Top and bottom part of the belt should be parallel. Tighten the screws on the pulleys, which we did. Hold the motor, and see if I can move the X carriage. We can do that. Let's put that in the right spot. Hold the motor. Yeah, that's good. That's really nice. Alright. Tighten most screws on the pulley. Time for another gummy bear. Okay. Extruder. Now, this is what I've heard people say, oh my gosh, a little bit of difficulty. But let's see. Let me move this out of the way. For the moment. Okay. Extruder axis and extruder axis. All right. Bontex pulley without the tightening screw, pulley bearings 2 and entry nut and a pulley shaft. So the extrudery doohickey. Not it. Not it. Not it. That's it. Okay. Got a few other little goodies in there. Yep. Right now. Oh, cooling fan. cooling duct, I should say. Alright. Orient it like the picture. Doing this baggie. Bondtech gear without the set screw. Well, those are just the cutest little bearings. Huh. Okay, these are the bearings. Where are the two, oops, square nuts? They're all the way at the bottom of the bag, of course. Look at that. Oh, dang it. One got away. Hex nut, square nut. Come here, you. There we go. Okay. Alright, first things first. Let's put that right there. Press the nuts into both sides of the idler. Put both bearings in the pulley. Be aware that the bearings can slip out during assembly. Well, not if I give them some grease, they won't. And it won't take much. Okay. Bearings. Oh, I didn't have a gummy bear. Alright. Turn this around. Gear goes towards this end. Sure both bearings are inside the pulley. Insert the pulley. Slide the shaft. Use reasonable force or you will break. Yeah. Don't break the printed part. It's going to go through all of that at the same time. Get through the other hole. Okay. Pin is in there. and bearing rotates freely. Please prepare the extruder body, which is this guy, the filament sensor. Oh boy. Does not look like it's in there. Let's see. Display. So I'm missing something. Filament sensor is not in there. It's in here. Fan. Filament sensor with lasers. Sweet. Okay. Be careful with the filaments. Do not touch the black PC board or the chips on it. Okay. So I need an M3 by 10 screw. And 2 nuts. There's a nut. There's a nut. And 3 by 10. All right. So that's not it. That's not it. Okay, am I looking at it the right way? Okay, so that's that one. Okay, I'm looking at it that way. I'm supposed to put this in. Pins of the filament sensor must be facing up. So it goes that way. Put the M3 screw in. Whoa, come back here. Sensor must be tightened to completely prevent its movement, but be careful during tightening to avoid damage to the sensor. Okay, well, I can look through the side here and see when the screw comes down and touches. Right there. That's all the tighter it needs to be. Okay. Okay, functionality and strength me. Okay. What is it? Please prepare. Well, why did I get the two nuts? Oh, insert the nuts. How did I miss this page? Into the extruder body. So, right here is a nut. Oops, that's not the one. This one. Alright. That's a Dickens. Alright, so we'll put this on here. Come on, get on there. Get you lined up. Okay, he's in there. And the other screw, or other nut, goes right in this hole, right here. Okay. I got that. Alright, now we need 2 washers, M3 by 30 screws, which and M3 the washers. There's one. Oop. And there's the other one. Okay. So this guy with that, 2 washers. Okay, extruder body. M there. Yep. Put on a washer. And this goes on here. There we go. Get that pin flush, or that would be trouble. Alright. Push that guy all the way through. And another washer. Alright. Extruder motor, Bondtech really with the screw. This is the last motor in the box, so I guess I can't really screw that up. Okay, and Bondtech with the screw. Alright. So this has to go on this way. It only has one screw. Should be this little teeny guy. Just gonna kind of put it in there so it doesn't slide around. Alright, and this goes here. Oh, that might be the wrong one. What did I do? Are there two different really long ones? There's some long ones. There's a long one. Yep. I'm betting it's so those two are the same. Those three are the same, and this one is shorter. That one's too short, and that one's too short. Is this one longer than the rest of them? Probably. Ah. Alright, flat, rotated towards you. Correct orientation, yes. To M3 by 30. Oh boy. That one might just be long enough. Oh boy. That's what I thought. Okay. That guy's not long enough. This guy is longer. Okay. Wow. Okay. This guy's longer. See, that's two M3 by 30s. Oh boy. Oh wait. I dumped some out over here. Maybe that's what the problem is. There we go. so these two tighten really tight, firmly. And these two, or this one in the corner, tighten it. But we want the little trapdoor to open. So I'm not going to go so tight. Okay. And then I'm going to line up the little V, the little knurled part. With that. And those should mesh. And things should be good. Alright. Okay, so now the really long screws and 3x40s, 2 extruder springs, which are on a couple of other bolts. The extruder spring. Okay, so looking at this way, put those in here. Screw's head should be almost flush. Well, line this is looking up through the bottom. I can see just a little bit of mismatch in the Bondtech gears. So I've got to redo this guy. To go back just a skosh. Okay, that's going to be a little tricky to get lined up. Looks good. Okay, now we're ready for the pinchers. Come on. There we go. And take the E3D hot end and put it into the body. Make sure the white PTFE tube fits in properly. Okay. Wires this way. Okay. Oops. Rotate 90 like that. There we go. I say, I didn't think that block looked quite right. Wow. And the E3D hot end is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay. Rotate the extruder shown in the picture. Take the extruder cover, place it on the extruder body. Both pieces must be in direct contact. Okay. Alright. Oakley dokley. M3 by 25 screws, 3 of them. 2 of them go here. Yep. not the right screw, but it's sucking the bolt down, or sucking the nut down in there. So let's get it all the way down in there. At least all the way that I can. Ugh, okay. Alright, there we go. That's in there. Okay. And this one, I would swear that needs to have that nut in there. Hey, hey. Okay. Fans. 6 of those. Left hot end fan. Front fan. Left hand. Side with the sticker must always be facing this hot end. So this goes here. Guide the wires into the slot, like so. Okie dokie. Oops. Not the right one. How can you be too short? Oh. No. You guys are too short. It must be for the other one. 6 of you guys, huh? Those seem too long, but maybe they're not. They're 3 by 18. Oh no, they are pretty long. Okay. Four. 5. 6. Okay, dokie. Come on. Into the slot you go. Like that. just going to get down here and go snuggalicious. Make sure the fan still rotates. Don't break the fan blades. Okay. I think when we get done with the extruder step, I think we're done for the night. I know you probably want to see something print, but it'll have to wait for another day. Okay. Little fan turns. Big fan. Big fan goes here. Oh, now we're starting to get a mess of wires. All right. Alright, so these guys come through by 18 screws. Front print fan uses 2 M3 by 18 screws. Don't tighten the front fans too hard. Well, that's the 2 short ones. Where's my 18s? Oh, let's see here. This has got to go. It's got to go right there, right? On the wrong side. No. Oh, yeah, no. That's where it goes. That needs a nut on the back of it. And I probably missed a step somewhere. Yep, that may mean that it's time for bed. Okay. That one goes there. I know that one goes there. That's just, oh, that's so close. So that there is that one. Let's see if I can get that nut. Oh boy. That's down in this hole. Come here, you. There we go. Hey boy. Alright. Well, I'll have to take that back apart. I did something wrong. So, I'll have a gummy bear. I'll see you guys later.